All right. So we'll start our session today. Today is 2nd of April 2022. And this is the first session. And so today is a auspicious day for it's a new moon. This new moon is starting a new phase for everybody's life, and this is also, it is celebrated in different parts of India as a different festivals. So this is a new beginning also energetically. This particular new moon is very powerful, and we had our the full moon was very powerful when we were at Palampur, and that time we meditated. But this next to that, this particular new moon, starting a new beginning of that that phase, and it is very, highly powerful, divine, energetic. We just need to go with the flow of this energy. Rest of the things will automatically happen. So now let me come to today's topic in this regard, that it is the power of silence. We have about 2 years back, when I think January or sometime in 2020, I had given a voice message on this, the power of silence, but we thought better to have, as it is a day of starting of the new phase, and it is also, we should also start with silence, because silence is the background of everything. Like, I'm talking about our external life. Just like the canvas is the background of any kind of picture, and the clean board or clean slate is the starting point of writing anything, clean paper to start writing, or any kind of creation. So silence is the background from where everything was created. Like when originally universe was created with the sound, like the vibration of Om. Before creating that vibration, it was all silence. No, that there is no sound, and this is then further the sound developed, and then it manifested into the physical realities and so on and so forth. But it all started with the sound, and before sound starts, the background was silence. So silence is the background of everything, and that's how powerful it is to create anything. Okay, so this is the power of the silence. That is the understanding part of it. I'll go to the practical aspects of that. Like, see, it's like a sky. It has got a sun, it has a moon, and the stars and clouds and all those things. The background of the sky, there is nothing there. It holds everything. So same here. The silence holds all the sounds. It is, as I said, the canvas and the background. So whichever is unexplicable that goes into the automatically goes into the silence. It is always that gives that power to the content. In the music or the composition, whether it's the singers and others who are the singing or somebody's the performing, the good orator, the difference between a normal say, singer or composition music composer to a higher level, the masters, maestro, they know how to put silence between the notes. That is their mastery, not the playing the notes. Play, everybody can play. Everybody knows. Lyrics, they didn't call it lyrics. There's something that transcribe the music, some kind of gothic kind of thing. So everybody knows the note and all this, but everybody's music, the outcome, the effect on the people are not same, because the masters, they know how much pause to be given, how much silence to be injected in between the notes. That's their mastery, not playing the notes. A child can play the notes. Same as the singing. They exactly know if somebody is a very high level singer, the singer, he or she knows exactly where to give the pause and what will be the effect of that. That is, the silence is that kind of background or that kind of connectors which allows to absorb the energy. So that's why silence is needed. Just like we cannot keep eating food continuously, you have to give time to digest also. No? It's not possible, or it is, it is possible, but it will make no sense if we keep on eating. So the same here, we need time to digest, and silence is that which actually absorbs that energy emitted through the vibrations and the frequencies, uttered words, mantras, the what is called the sound healing equipments, the pipes and bowls and everything. Those sounds, they need to be absorbed. Then only the effect will come. The absorbing quality is given by the silence, not the words, not that sound when it is created. Or you can say that it is like, it is like, say, water. It dissolves everything. It dissolves into it. Then we make different kinds of mixtures. So this gives the background, the media to absorb this. So same is this silence. So this, the silence part of it is as it is originally, everything was created from the silence, keeping the silence as a background. Silence is also known as the potential of everything. Okay, it has got a potential. Silence is not bland, like not dead. Silence is alive, and it has got a potential for all the different types of creations, all the different types of sounds that we create. That is the power of silence. So when we touch upon that, when we go into that mode, it allows us to absorb that energy which has been created, also gives us the potential for creating something new. That also comes from the silence. So observing silence is for the ego, it is a punishment, because ego needs always chatter. Ego doesn't like silence, because if it is silent, that ego drops, consciousness takes over, okay, in the silence. So it does not allow us to go into that consciousness mode. So it wants to keep in the mind level and try to control us. So all the time we keep injecting something, or chatter and all those things. Had the ego, more the talk, more the sound. Even I was telling that earlier also, I also have it this kind of, unconsciously, we used to avoid silence, because in the silence also gives us a mirror, like we reflection of ourselves. All of us, we know who we are. Yeah. So, like people say there are three selves. One is we try to project to others, and second is what others can see, and third is what we really are, that only we know. So what used to happen is this projection business, this is all the game of ego. So we wanted to project something, we say XYZ, and people say, you see, I found who actually he or she is. Those are also impressions of somebody else. That is also not true. So many things got hidden. So many things got, so-called secret, personal secrets. We think it is within us. That is only known to our own self. So that is who we truly are. Maybe that is not very comfortable to see ourselves. So we always make ourselves busy in projecting image, and sometimes we con ourselves and we force ourselves to believe that projection is me, which is not. Okay, that's the job of ego. Always busy in so-called image building. Okay, and as we are too much putting effort in image building, so we avoid silence, so that we never have to see ourselves like in front of a mirror. And for that, what I was telling earlier, I also having a habit, not in a single moment we used to be without sound. Okay, if nothing, entered into the room, switch on the TV. Okay, something, or calling somebody, or just play, when you intend to a car for driving, start radio or some kind of CD instantly. In the name of boredom, we just do all these things, but basically what we are doing is we are just occupying ourselves with some kind of sound external, so that we need not to face ourselves. We need not to be alone. When we go into the spiritual journey, which is from mind to the consciousness, like from what we are operating, the life force and everything from the run by the consciousness. So we need to get drop of this ego and mind things. I'm not criticizing mind. Mind has a role to play. But also we need to understand its nature, how it controls us. We keep ourselves busy with so many things, and listening to some music hours and hours, and talking over phone with half an hour to somebody. It's not necessary. Watching TV, same news again and again and again. 3 hours sitting in front of the TV, same news 6 times has been played, and we are listening to that. Why? Because we don't want to be alone. Okay. We just wanted to engage ourselves with something. So basically, it is just to avoiding ourselves, to meeting with us, meeting with me. The spiritual journey starts the other way around. Unless until we meet ourselves, it cannot start. No matter how uncomfortable it is. Truth liberates. So to understand the truth, we need to meet ourselves first. We have to have an appointment with ourselves first. In the name of boredom and this and that, we were not feeling comfortable to be alone or lonely. So we say, no, I cannot be lonely. I need company and whatever, But when it is your inner journey starts, that there is a difference between a loneliness and aloneness. Aloneness, you are with yourself, your higher self. This aloneness is spiritual. Loneliness is product of your ego. You are never lonely. So what happens is, at the time of, so when you meet yourself, first what happens is a lot of uncomfortable things get revealed. You never realize that it is coming from you. Your habit patterns, your addictions, your conditioning, everything is started coming up. And you realize that it is, means the outside world is just, it is as it is. It just responds to the way we interact with it. So unconsciously, we may have to do something and say something, and we get the rebuff. And also, during my process, when it was happening, I realized that any situation, wherever I said something, and before that, definitely it came from my ego. No matter how sugar-coated I put it, the words and nicely put it, but the intention of the ego was always seen by the others. Let us not fool ourselves. Other will not know that I was talking, the projection we try to give others, and others know. These two areas, what happens is that when I'm giving a statement, what have I learned? Just one sentence, it is, when ego speaks, ego answers. In any situation, if you go and say something, no matter how sugar-coated, how nicely you say it, if it is coming from ego, other ego will raise up and answer to you. Ego answers ego. So any situation, if you find that, why they are responding me like that, if you go and analyze, if you have grown this capacity to be alone, if you go into aloneness and look into the mirror, you realize those have been created by you, by your ego. You may be sugar-coated it, but it came from your ego, and that ego responded, the other ego responded. That's what you didn't like, because it is somebody else's ego. And ego wants the superiority. So your superiority get hurt, and that's why you feel bad. Okay, so it is all a game of ego. These two self, what I was talking, what your projection and others looking at you, both are ego. So end of the day, we keep on fighting, arguing. It is all between two egos are fighting. No matter how sophisticated it is. But we react because our ego got hurt. So sometimes that in this kind of situation, to avoid your ego, at least you have control over your ego. At least after some spiritual, practices, you have some ability to understand it is your ego, identify and able to do it. Best way to react is silence. It can absorb everything, even ego. That is the power of silence. This aloneness, when you start pursuing this to you, who am I? A lot of things will come in front of you. A lot of your baggage you are carrying, it will come to you. A lot of trapped energy, maybe some childhood memories or whatever, I'm not saying everything will be bad. Okay, I'm saying whatever it is, it will come up during that analysis. And if you keep working on that, it will be, may keep visiting them. So it will just come and it will go forever. It will not come back. That, in that way, the silence will be the reason for you to heal. Silence heals. It allows any kind of trapped energy, any negativity, any ego game to come up to the surface, because it is not cluttered with, preoccupied with many things. It slowly come up, and in the power of witnessing, when you witness, we learn all this witnessing. In the power of witnessing, it dissolves. But this process happens in silence. It doesn't need any, major something, any major activity to be done or major act to be done. It is just, it comes out, it allows it to come out, and then it goes. So in this case, what happens that the silence, it heals us. Some slowly, if you go into the higher level or further in the spiritual journey, then when you get enlightened, all your past lives, all your soul's journey opens up, the truth opens up. First thing what happens after you enlighten, you go into silence. It's called silence period, years of silence. That's called silence period. Because so much truth has been revealed to you that need to be absorbed. And only silence can make it absorbed into your being. Because you have seen the truth. You realize the Brahma Gyan, universal truth. It is so huge, so you are not prepared for this. Your earlier life was basically something else. All looks like a bachcho ka khel. I wasted time into all this, nonsenses. When the truth reveals, it is so powerful, so clear, and it liberates you from any kind of misunderstanding you have, anything you said that you have been mistreated, or you have been, justice was not happened to you, and all this kind of things you have, all that get clarified. And what is the purpose of your life? Why you came here? What are the things you have undergone? What are the painful experiences you have undergone? You realize you have chosen them to get yourself polished, so come out, stronger. Soul, you means at the soul level. So all these things, once you revealed, then there is no one else to get blamed for or something like that. You completely, fully understand, all questions answered. And you go into the silence to absorb that higher truth, because once the truth is revealed, there is no way you can forget it. There's no way you can go back. You remain there. So suppose once a bird knows how to fly, then it will be difficult for the bird to walk on the ground. So, okay, maybe a little bit for food, but it doesn't, that take flies off. Same here. Once you have done that, you have just that the enlightenment happened, then you cannot go back to that one. It is irreversible. The knowingness cannot be unknown, cannot be undone. Because it is a part of your being, and that gives you to absorb that into, because the physical body is not yet gone to that level to absorb everything. So that takes the time to absorb the truth. That's why people go into the silence, and whatever happening outside, they were least interested, because this is meaninglessness of all those things comes. It is said, there also a saying that the best answer to give the foolish things people say is to be silent. Okay. Just silent. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Don't argue. So in that, we have a lot of wisdom. The masters have shared about this. I'm not talking about the spiritual silence period now. I'm coming back to that normal. what is the experiences of the wise ones they share to us? We heard it many times. The silence speaks stronger than words. Sometimes the silence is the best answer. That is most wise answer is the silence. I already told you the story about Gautam Buddha. Somebody came and started abusing him and things like that. And he just smiled in silence. And that is the best answer. Okay. Then, silence also is the best expression when words cannot express your feelings. Being silent does not mean it is a blank. The silence also is a statement. Only thing, as I was telling, the masters, they know how to use it appropriately in the proper places and the proper duration. Too much of silence it will fade out, and too brief it will be unnoticeable. So they know, just like I was saying, the music composers, they exactly know how many millisecond pause to be given, and that has got effect. Also, the silence, it generates the respect from within us. Silence allows us to get that, kind of respect and the expression of the gratitude within us. You might have noticed that when even in the official functions and all, if there is any departed soul, they have to express the mourning. They observe silence. 1 minute of silence. Why? Because they just wanted to connect internally to the departed soul, to express gratitude, respect, whatever it is. To go inside, you need to stop external activity. You cannot keep talking and addressing something and connecting to somebody who is in the other dimension. So for that, you need silence. So in that case, silence is the prerequisite of start our journey inward, and it has got its own power to carry us forward further. I also spoken about one great master from the Chinese master Lao Tzu. You will remember that the rose fragrance story. I often say his quote on silence is source of great strength. That's what Lao Tzu's quote. That was his teaching. Whenever you need strength, observe silence. Strength will come to you. So how strength will come to you? Because in the silence, you will be focusing inward, and then you will be connecting to your higher self, soul consciousness. Your soul consciousness connected with the universal consciousness, which has got all the power. That is where you can tap the power of the consciousness through silence. Okay, that's what it means. And there is another, Sufi master, Rumi. Okay. I'm giving different religion, different country. They saw the same thing. All the masters, they say the same thing. Rumi says, listen to silence. It is so much to say. This area, we call it third eye, to see something which is beyond the physical reality. You have 2 ears. Maybe third ear is to listen to the inner voice, the higher dimensional sounds. There is no such thing called third ear. Don't get into that where it is and how to activate. Don't worry. Okay, it is just your clairaudience ability, like to listen to the it, it will come to your knowingness. So when you're normal, our ears are not occupied with external sound, or we are not talking, we are not using our five senses. Five senses allow actually move us towards outside. When you stop, do not using the five senses per se, then our attention goes inside, and then we'll be able to listen to the inner voice. It is called, our soul communicates with us. It's called whispers from beyond. Will not understand it if we are occupied, our senses are occupied, make us occupied externally. So in the silence, it gives our senses to opportunity to not to busy in some work, and that is the time your attention goes inside. And then we can listen to that intuitive voice, and that the whispers from the soul and from higher dimensional communications all happens in silence. So this is where we will communicate, and that the inner knowingness, and that develops in that we get the answers of whatever we cannot find in the external world, and that we tap into the truth, universal truth. So that gets downloaded in silence. It cannot happen if we are busy in these external things and using our five senses. So that is why we need to control it, just to make a pause. And that the best way to do is to meditate, to pause, so that our external, the senses are not working, we are in silence, and through that channel opens up from inside. So this is the way we communicate, and that establish communication. And those are the things which we cannot get from the external world. So that is what we are getting it through inside, our inner knowing knowledge. That is our truth. It does not need validation or approval of anyone. It is your truth. All of us are unique. Our truths are also unique. It is the same truth, but we are receiving instruments are different. So that's why we understand it a different way. But that is all fine, as long as it is the truth, directly downloaded first-hand knowledge. It not necessarily to be comparable to anybody else or clarify things. Yes, initially you are confused because whether it is a mind creation or a coming. So your guru, or spiritual guru or guide, will help you to understand the differentiation between these two. Once a few times you understand how it is, and then you don't need every time to consult your spiritual guide in this matter. Then these are the things, this is where it comes, and this is what the messages are. It is absolutely clear. There is no confusion. There is no confusion because there is no mind. It is beyond mind. Mind only creates confusion. Okay. Whatever you received, if you second guess, then mind enters. And then ego enters through your mind, and they wanted to make it complicated. Okay. Otherwise, it is not. You just simply accept your truth. This is what is what is called gift of your aloneness. You are with your higher self. That is aloneness, not loneliness. Okay, loneliness is the external part, but you get bored and all those things. So, means in Hindi, the loneliness is akelapan, and aloneness is ekant. There is a difference. What we are trying to pursue here, observe silence, is ekant. But the ekant mein baitho. Because you can connect with your higher self. It is not a blank. It is not a sleeping. It is not a something absence of everything. It is a full potential, as I explained earlier. It is a full potential with the connection you are with your higher self. Only in this process you can first you understand yourself, understand your purpose, and through your higher self you can achieve anything you wanted in life through your own higher self, not anybody else. And once you go into that through ekant, through that the aloneness, you develop your self-worth, okay, which in the external world we lost it. Why we lost it? Because we value our self-worth in the view of others in the external world. How others judge us, how many people appreciated me, or how many likes we get in some Facebook post and all. That becomes your criteria of, or how much award you got, and all these kind of things. So these are the things are your own self-worth. We give it to others. And I think last session I was explaining, even if you get a Nobel Prize, it doesn't matter. It is to you, your own self-worth comes from your inner power. It is not, you can express yourself externally, that's fine, but it doesn't need a validation and approval of anything outside. Maybe no one knows, but your self-worth comes. When the self-worth comes, then you don't seek approval from somebody else outside you, no matter who they are. They may be your boss, they may be your spouse, your relatives, your family, or whatever. You don't need approval of anyone, okay? You just operate as who you are. You come with a certain intelligence, certain purpose, and you operate from that, okay? You don't disrespect anyone, neither you overdo something for someone. It's not needed. Because everybody is following their own life path, their own soul's purpose. It doesn't matter what you say, what you do. Only thing, you have to be honest with your own path, and that's what your self-worth gives you. That gives you self-worth, and once you operate with understand your self-worth, operate that way, then you created something called self-love. Self-love is that power which makes you running your life. It does not matter to someone or something what people are doing, whether you're getting claps or getting gali, doesn't matter. Okay, it's okay. So you operate from your own power. And this own power, self-worth, self-love, no comparison with anything or any reference frame. Reference frame doesn't matter. Okay, you are expressing yourself. I got silence because I was searching for the word, how to express that one, because it cannot be expressed in the words. See, expression of self-worth, is something like a flower. I give example of flower in the forest. It gives its fragrance because of its own quality. It does not matter whether somebody is coming and appreciating. It goes to a flower show, get a first prize, doesn't matter. Most obvious, nobody will see it. The flower will bloom, give its fragrance, and it will die there. It's finished. Its purpose is over. That's what the self-worth is. You are expressing yourself. It does not matter what the world is appreciating you or depreciating you. It doesn't matter. So in that sense, you are just expressing yourself, and that is the purpose you have chosen to come here for. So waste your time, effort, and energy to getting approval of others. The fundamental truth is nobody has power to approve you or disapprove you. You are the one. So don't unnecessarily go to others as a beggars. You are the king of your own world. Enjoy that kingdom and express yourself. When you express yourself fully, things will fall in place automatically. You just walk your own path. That's it. Okay. How people will take it, their business. What people will say, it is their business, none of yours. So you express yourself and then go it and you express yourself. And then through that expression, you can reach to your highest level, which is the oneness. In oneness, you will feel that in this path, when you go, it is not a selfish. I'm not saying at the cost of others. You are just walking your path, self-love. Through your, whatever you do out of self-love, that is called compassion, act of compassion. Compassion means love in action. This love, when you express yourself in pure love, then yourself will get more aura, it will come out from that. So the expression only. You need not to do something or give something amount in charity and all those are nonsenses. You don't have to do it. You just express your whatever you say, do, be honest, be in congruence, thoughts, words, and actions, and express yourself. And that's it. It will take you to that level when you don't find anybody else outside you. Like there's no other. All are part of you. That is the true sense of oneness. Like fingers among them, they don't fight. Two hands, they don't fight with each other. Same, that you will not fight with anybody else because it's a part of you. You are the one. Soham. Soham or Shivoham. This is I am the one. That realization will come. So that realization is the ultimate sense of oneness. It can be achieved through starting with this silence, then this, and finally it will go into this sense of oneness where everything is become part of you. That is the highest level you can achieve in the human body. So that is a oneness of experience. That's the ultimate. The experience, it is achievable it means not in the human body, in the soul level, but any level. But we are like fortunate one to get this experience, even if we hold the human body. Let me put it in this way. No need to discard the body and then go up to do that. In the physical body level, that is the highest expression you can ever have. And that is with the full knowingness of everything, no unanswered questions, full of love, full of, it's all the humanity is a part of you. That's the expressions of you, and that's it. So with this, I'll conclude this learning session. So if you have any questions, so you are welcome to ask.
Guruji, being outwardly silent, but if mind keeps on chattering, does it help being silent?
Good question. It does not help because actually today's topic was silence, which is the external one. There is an equivalent internal silence that is called stillness, okay, which is stopping of the thoughts. External is silence is stopping of the sounds outside. But inside our mind, that is when the thoughts are coming and going all the time, that also need to be silenced, internal silence. That internal silence of the thought is called the stillness. That is also needed to go further. Okay, so you are right. But
Okay.
our topic is external silence. So that's why I didn't, explain to that in detail. But internal silence is also equally important. Further
Okay.
insight. Yeah.
Thank you,
That's,
Guruji.
God bless you. Yes, Vikas.
RPA, what what I have understood is most of the time we have to be in a witness mode. Then that is the Anapan Sati Dhyan, which makes this to achieve the external as well as internal silence. That is my understanding. Please clarify.
No, your understanding is correct. See, what happens is when you do Anapansati, your attention, focus comes to the present moment. No? If you're doing it with a full alertness, thought stops. Otherwise, you go to the next step, Kaya Upasana, then Chitta Upasana, find the gap. Those are all witnessing. But if you focus on your breathing, with full alertness, thought stops. It's just a degree of alertness that makes the difference. Okay, but if you give loose, thoughts will start coming again. Okay. In fact, when the thought comes in our mind, to center ourselves again, we follow breathing. Bring it focus back, and then go into the silence and observe it again. Yeah. But that is correct. That is the method to reduce the mind activity to focusing on the breathing, and that reduces the mind activity.
Thank you.
Okay. God bless you.
Sir, can you please explain it again? I missed this.
Which one?
अभी जो आपने explain किया था ना, थोड़ा network disturbance हो गया था.
अच्छा, okay. So, what actually I was explaining that the question was about when we do Anapansati, then we go into the witness consciousness mode. So, is that the way to go beyond the physical reality to the higher reality? The answer is yes, but only thing is that you have to observe your breathing with full alertness. Once you are in the full alertness, then thought stops completely. Otherwise, you have to continue with the other method what you have learned, like in the 6-step meditation, like Kaya Upasana, and then Chitta Upasana, which is basically observing the thought and find out the gap, and from the gap you can transcend that level. So that is what was explaining.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sir, my question is, how much visualization comes in work over here? Can we visualize it?
No.
Okay.
Visualization has nothing to do with meditation.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain why. In our method, we never recommend visualization. I repeat, we never recommend visualization for meditation in our path. The reason is visualization is a mind construct. It's creating by our mind. Now think of a white light coming from above and you feel that you are entering to a cave. It's all visualization. Your mind is active. Initially, it helps. Initially, it helps us to, go out of the external world, come inside. Up to that, it is fine. But what it does is, people get so dependent on the visualization, they cannot go above. we are not supposed to stick to the mind. All we are trying to do is reduce the thought, go beyond mind, to get out of the control of our ego. Otherwise, if we keep practicing visualization, then your mind will create a lot of images and you got lost into that. Then there will be discussion. Okay, today I have seen Ganapati came and blessed me. Other people will say, I said Lord Krishna, Narayan came and blessed me. Others say Lord Shiva came and all nonsense. Okay, these are all your mind projections. It is not to be glorified about. So we, from the beginning, that's why in our method, we don't recommend to any kind of visualization. I'm saying that it helps initially, but problem is people cannot leave it when it is not needed. That's why they get stuck. Without visualization, they cannot meditate, and that's why it hampers their progress. So that's why we don't recommend it. So visualization, we never recommended, never practiced in our things. Of course, few cases, not a visualization. If some message comes, and then we can, some guided meditation will ask you to bring it to your intention to go somewhere. That is possible, but not visualization.
Absolutely right, sir. Thank you. By visualization, again, our ego is becoming active.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What you wanted to get rid of, you are encouraging it to come and help you to get enlightened. It is not possible because ego will not allow you to go there.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Yeah. So not only visualization, as the topic came, that also any kind of external dependency we don't recommend, even though they are helpful initially. As I said, I'm not saying it cannot help someone. Of course it helps, but problem is it doesn't go when you want them to go. Like another example is external music. There are a lot of music, for what is called meditation music, and that's very good. You can listen to that. But what I recommend is listen to them as just for some experience, but don't make it a practice that to start some music and then you meditate. Then what will happen is, without music, we will not be able to meditate after some time. The reason is, if you do repeatedly something for 21 days, it will get internalized to your subconscious mind. Those kind of music will get internalized, and because of that, without that, you cannot meditate. Okay, this is the reason. So from the beginning, we discourage. 1 or 2 times you acha laga music, meditate, very good. It's okay, but just for the experience part of it. Like hum ghumne ke liye jate hain na, we go for traveling someplace like that, but don't make it your regular practice. If you do it a regular practice, you get dependent on that external thing. Anything you create internally is fine. That's okay. But anything outside you, if you keep dependent on that, then without that, you will not be able to grow, and that will be your block. And it will be very difficult to remove those kinds of blocks because it's coming from your inside. You cannot do without that, which is also true. That you become dependent. All right. So in general, any type of external thing for experience few times is okay, but don't make it a regular practice.
Okay.
Yes, Vikas.
Another question here. These dreams are mind construct, or they sometimes gives you the some message?
Oh, good. See, again, my recommendation, there is 2 different things. One is my recommendation, because my recommendation is, my intention is to make you grow spiritually as fast as possible. That is my intention. And I know people who have fallen in different traps. And they got delayed years and years, 5, 10 years. They fall into trap. They cannot come out of that. Yeah? I'm just trying to make you avoid those traps. And that's why I am giving some recommendations, advice, so that you don't fall into the trap. Now, let me come to your question. Some spiritual elements are possible in the coming from the dream, but in general, your dream is a reflection of your subconscious mind. Whatever your subconscious mind is, it comes in during your dream, normally. I'm not saying in the dream no messages can come, the spiritual thing cannot come. I'm not saying that. But you are not in a position to distinguish between these two. So what people do, whatever they see in the dream, they think it is spiritual, and that become a trap. So for my advice is, ignore the dream altogether. It is not fully true. I'm just giving a truth. It is not fully true. But as you don't have a capacity to distinguish it, it will become an obstacle for your own growth. My advice is, just like external things, I said music and visualization, drop the dream for the time being.
Okay.
Don't give any encouragement or any analysis of your dream. Just walk the path with a normal meditation and Kriya.
Right.
Once you have that, the spiritual, awareness grows. Yeah, and if you get enlightened, then it is fine. You will understand this is a dream and this is my message. Okay, but till now, till that time, don't fall into any dream trap. Yeah? Many people that have seen, they come and they said, I have seen in the dreams, but dreams does not mean spiritual. In other words, let me, convey why I'm saying that. Whatever spiritual message you are getting, your mind should be fully alert, not sleeping.
Okay.
You got my point?
Yes.
Your mind should be fully alert. Then the communication happens. I have given a chart to play that what soul is doing, what body is doing, mind is doing. If you are sleeping and something comes into the dream, that is mostly governed by the subconscious mind, and you are not alert.
Right.
You are sleeping. Okay. So interpretation of those will not give you any clarity. Meditation means you're fully alert, fully aware, and full clarity, and there is no confusion whatsoever. So that, my recommendation, do it. You do it during meditation. Why to depend on the dream and things like that? Okay, so that is the whole story regarding the dreams. I just repeat, I'm not saying that dream, the spiritual messages cannot come. What I'm saying is, you don't have an instrument to distinguish between subconscious mind construct or a spiritual message. So drop it for the time being. Okay.
Thank you, Arpi.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, thank you a lot.
Yes, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, thanks a lot once again for you and all these messages, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask that if someone is having a lot of trouble going on in one's life, so silence is the answer of in silence the person can get true answer what can really bring change in one's life. So can you, sir, say something on this?
Yeah. See, silence can give. There are two issues here. Some of the things, silence will reveal the truth. Okay. Sometimes you will get answer, and sometimes you will get that feedback that this is not important. No answer is needed. Just ignore. Okay. So this reality, this truth will be revealed during silence. I'm not saying all answers will get, but you will get a kind of response which is to your satisfaction. That is what you will get. That is a guaranteed. And as I said, when you go to the higher level of spiritual things, silent spirit, all will get all answers. Even all the silly questions your mind is playing out, it will be answered. No issues. In Hindi, they call दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा. That is the thing. Okay.
Sir, when you speak Hindi, that is as sweet as a 1-year-old child talking. Sir, I was saying, so when we are seeking for how, that we can receive, right? Suppose there's a problem and I'm seeking how, so people can say me many things, but that silence will give me the true answer that can make me out.
I'll give you a better method. We do the meditation and go the 6-step meditation, go the last step. Okay, 6th step, expanded awareness. That is the right time to ask the answers. Ask your higher self, give me the solution to this. What should be the solution to this problem I am facing in the external life? It will come to you. Expanded awareness state. Do initial steps so that in the 5th step, mind should not work beyond that. Mind should get dropped. And particularly when you practice multi-point awareness, mind get drops anyway, because mind cannot focus more than one thing at a time. When you are aware of the multiple things, then mind get drops, because it's too much for mind to handle. So go beyond mind, then ask the question. Then your higher self will answer. From your mind level, the operating level taken care of by called Chidakas. Chidakas is the soul's mind, you can say. That is where you will get answer. Okay, so
Thank you,
in
sir.
silence you can get it. I'm not saying that, but best way is to go to that expanded awareness, ask for the solution, and you will get it. If you don't get it, ask again. Okay. छोड़ना नहीं है जब तक नहीं आंसर आ जाए. But once the answer comes, it comes as just like a glimpse. Don't second guess. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? Don't. That is your mind again come back. So just go with that one.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. God bless you. All right. So if there is no other question, yes,
please.
Yes, Kavita.
The mind has a habit of projecting itself. Sometimes negativity comes without our realization also. So how come we be in silent place? Means how can we be silent in that case? Or I hope I am making myself clear.
Means some negativity is
mind's
in your
projection.
mind.
Yes, mind is projecting beforehand only. Before a situation happens.
Yeah.
So you are saying you will get your answer when you are in silent position.
Yes. Yeah.
So in that case, how should we behave? I mean, when there is projection of
The
negativity.
projection, don't react. You have to respond. Means you have to give the space so that you can get connected. It can come instantly. Once your mind is silenced, then you can get, if you ask a request, please guide me, it will come instantly to you. Okay. You need not to go into it. If you have a very long story to tell and all this, then it's that you use the meditation. But if it is just now what I should do, just pray to give me the strength and the how to respond, and it will come to you, and you do that. Okay, follow that. All the masters are doing the moment by moment their guidance they are doing, and they are operating their life accordingly. So it comes. So accordingly you respond. Don't react. Your reaction comes from your ego mind, which is most likely is not the correct thing to do. Okay. So just try that, and slowly it needs little bit of practice, but it will happen. And if you are in a confusion what to do, don't react. Okay. Be silent. Okay. All right. Yes, Chaitali.
Guruji, does silence give us strength also?
Oh, yes. That's what I was telling. It's all power of silence, which gives strength, it gives healing, everything. Yeah, it gives all the things. Even we wasting a lot of our energy into this talking and listening and all this kind of stuff. But once we are silent, that we conserve all this energy for some better things, no? For our spiritual evolution. We go inward, so external thing is not there. So it goes inward, and it will raise our reservoir of energy.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, God bless you. All right, so now we'll do practice our Kriya and meditation. So sit straight, spinal cord straight, face straight.